Profit Assist is a brand new product. Goal is really simple. How do we help restaurants better analyze their data so they can lower their costs and be more profitable? Um, Today, and I think we all know this, running a restaurant, a profitable restaurant, is potentially as hard as it's ever been, right? So if we think about what's happening to restaurants, consumers are kind of fighting back on how many times are we willing to pay $25 for a burger and fries in a week. But at the same time, labor increasing, food costs increasing, rent increasing, which means the margins are just getting thinner and thinner for restaurants. So what Profit Assist does is integrates into data sources, accounting systems, and then uses AI to show restaurants where their costs are increasing, why they're increasing, and how they can go lower their costs. The average restaurant on Profit Assist has lowered their costs 4%. So if we think about that, the average margin is 5%, our goal is to help our restaurants double their profit margin. I'm going to go through 5-6 minute presentation, then we'll go through questions and all of that. So high level, Profit Assist takes under 5 minutes to get set up. Fernando can attest, we've had everyone from single locations up to 15, 20 locations. And I think the 15, 20 location took 10 minutes to get set up. What happens is we add our accounting integrations here. So what I'm showing you today is a multi-unit brand. You can see here, they've got multiple QuickBooks Online accounts. To connect an accounting system, all you do is come in, log in, and then we are an app in the marketplace. Then you can set up different users, roles, permissions. So let's say you are a 2-location restaurant owner and you want to add both of your GMs. You can say this GM gets access to this location, this one gets access to this, and then you can choose what they actually see within the platform as well. The day after you connect your accounting system, we start pulling in data. We support both months and periods. Lots of restaurants operate on period calendars. We support both months and periods. And we're doing 3 things. First thing we're doing is giving a data set and really simple and clear reporting. The second thing we're doing is using AI. We are showing restaurants where they might have issues or errors in their bookkeeping. Because before you can actually lower your costs, you need to make sure that your costs are accurate. And then the third thing we do is show restaurants how they can lower their costs and increase their profits. So let's talk about these tasks on the right side. So if I come here and I look at Dunkin', Dunkin' is a location. They have a task that they're missing pest control. So what I can see here is that they have pest control every single month, but it's missing in the last month. So this is not us saying, good job, you lowered pest control. This is us saying, hey, you are missing pest control. That might mean that you are more profitable this month, less next month. I can't tell you how many restaurants we see that pat themselves on the back and say, we just had a really profitable month, and it was just because they didn't log rent that month. And next month, they're going to lose a bunch of money because they've got rent logged twice. So really simple, trying to show restaurants where there might be issues. The next thing we do is we show them where their costs are increasing. Now, this is where we are significantly helping our customers save money and lower their costs. So I'm going to walk through 2 examples, what it would look like for a single unit and then what it will look like for a multi-unit. For a single unit, we are showing them how they are doing against themselves, what went well, what can be improved, and then every month they get emailed 2 or 3 action items, tasks that show them what they can do. Some of them are big. Food costs. Your food costs increased. Let me zoom in a bit. Your food costs increased from 33% to 41%. You need to go look at that. And then we tell them how other clients have solved this problem. Some of them are much smaller. Hey, did you know that your social media spend is increasing from 500 to 550 to 1250? And not just increasing as a dollar amount, but also as a percentage of revenue. So we had a client, they've got 25 locations. They got a task that was talking about how like their chemicals and linens were increasing. They then called the chemicals manufacturer, figured out what was happening, And they'll end up saving between $300 and $400 per month per location. So 300 or 400 times 15 locations times 12 months from one simple task. Now, for our multi-units, what they really like is they like that not only are we comparing a location in and of itself, but we're also automatically comparing it to the other locations within that group. And what that gives them the ability to do is say, all right, if we look, Eglinton is a location. Eglinton has increased from 20% to 22.6%. That's what their labor cost has increased to. Obviously, 2.6% increase is huge when you consider that's half of the average restaurant's margin, right? So if the average restaurant has 5%, it's very easy to say, oh, no big deal, labor went up 2%. That's potentially half your margin. But what this is calling out is not only did labor increase as a percentage, but the rest of the group is at 18.32%. And we are looking at most things as a percentage of sales, not just a dollar amount. This way we can compare more apples to apples, because obviously someone that has higher revenue will spend more dollars on everything. These tasks get automatically emailed out at the end of each month, automatically. Now, we are also bringing in data daily. So let's say that we want to look at July and we want to see, all right, how did things go in July? We can just focus on July, and then we can see our wins and our losses. Let me do that again. And then we can look at our wins and our losses. Wins are what got better. Losses are what got worse. And we can see everything from here. So we can see, okay, whoa, consulting, huge increase. But this is interesting. Why is our water up $400 or 42% year over year, July to July? And we can then click on it and we can see, okay, water, interesting. And then we can see all of the transactions right from here. We can even go deeper. And if we want to look at how is our water bill increasing month over month, all of a sudden we can click here and we can see this is very interesting, right? Look at this, May, June, July. Look at that water bill increase. And we did not see that last year, right? Last July was 944. And last June was right in line. So is it a leak? Is it a running toilet? Is it a leaky faucet? They are a multi-unit. So what they can also do is they can look at different locations side by side, and then they can see how much is each location. So it looks like they're spending similar amounts on water as the other locations. But if we look at it as a percentage of sales, we can see they're a quarter point higher. All of this is clickable, exportable, downloadable. So before I open it up to questions, I just kind of want to summarize. Our goal at SpotOn, nothing to do with profits, but our goal at SpotOn is how do we transition from a point of sale system to a profit partner for our restaurants? This is our first foray into how do we do that by analyzing financial data and then using AI to show restaurants not here's a laundry list of things you need to do, but what are the 2 or 3 things that a restaurant can do to go be more profitable in the months down the road?